What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
All right, back at it. Let's call it episode 182 of the Big Shot Bob podcast, creeping in on 200 shows. That's B-Dog Brandon Harper. My name is Rob Jenners. That is seven-time NBA champion Robert Ory, who popped up in my news feed this week.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Like, right away. Oh, no. Immediately when I see Rob's picture in the news feed, I'm like, oh, no, what happened? What did he do? We'll get to that in a second. But apologies, by the way, to the audience. I'm realizing that we had talked about the fact that we were going to take a week off because I was out of town with my kid for her birthday last week, and we kind of talked about it amongst ourselves, and we really never said anything on the show about it. So about Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, I'm starting to get hit up on social media, and I'm getting emails. Hey, is there a show this week? Would you just... Is something? And immediately people start blaming you, which I think is hysterical. Oh, Rob must be traveling. Rob's too busy, and I'm like,
yeah, Rob was.
Yeah, you deflected to the wrong Rob, but yes, it was. No, that was on me. I meant to mention that, but yeah, I took my kid to Universal Studios for her 12th birthday last week. And had a blast, man. Spent way too much damn money, which Rob texts me, enjoy the most expensivest place on earth. And I'm like, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. You know how that goes.
Family first, man. And no matter what, you spend all that money on family, they're going to have a good time, man.
Dude, it's fun, man. We haven't done Universal in a long time. It's been a long time. And they got a lot of good...
So what's your favorite ride?
Holy cow, dude. Have you heard? I don't think you guys have this out there. I'm not sure if you do. The Velocicoaster.
Isn't that the new one?
That's the new one. It's the Jurassic Park roller coaster.
Yeah.
And that thing is wild. That is the coolest roller coaster I've ever ridden.
Is it a real roller coaster?
Oh no, it's a straight up. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. They strap you in, and I mean, this thing flips you, turns you, spins you around, and then it has a drop where to get to this big, like, giant over-the-top drop, which is in the middle of the ride, you hit like a lull in the ride, and you hit the track again, and it goes, and it shoots you like 70 miles an hour up this drop, and you are so high over the park, dude. It is terrifying. And we rode it like 3 times. And my daughter is obsessed with it. Dude, that's a hell of a roller coaster.
You know what I would have been? I've been on the sideline like waving.
Oh, no, come on.
I do not do roller coasters, man.
You don't do roller coasters at all?
No. Last roller coaster I was on, my mom had to trick me, and this was when I was like maybe 7, 8 years old, was what's the one that's in the dark? And you had Space Mountain, whatever it's called.
Oh, Space Mountain. Yeah.
Space Mountain. And that's the last time I've been. I'm terrified of roller coasters, man. I just have so many fears of me being so tall that we're going to go through like, oh, shit, my head gets chopped off, my legs get chopped off.
Yeah, I can
so I don't do roller coasters.
There were a couple times you came up in conversation because we were walking through certain lines. Like there's a Harry Potter roller coaster, Hagrid's motorbike thing, which is, by the way, also freaking awesome. But the queue for it at one point, it's like a cave. You're walking through a cave, and I'm like, I could reach up and touch the ceiling. And I'm like, I'm short. Like, Rob would have to walk through this damn queue like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I'm like, yeah, no, you couldn't ride this stuff. Like, I imagine there's stuff that because of your height, you have to, like, pay attention to that you can't get on. It scares me.
Yeah, because even with you sitting down, there are certain points where you go throughout certain roller coasters, especially when it goes inside of a tunnel or something like that. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, or you cut underneath like another track or something, and I feel like.
Yeah, you probably end up like almost that deer that I hit coming to work in September. I told him, I said, well, they asked me what describe it, B, what happened? I said, well, all I know is I was driving at night and the deer came and ran right in front of the car, and all I saw is the head go one way and the body go another. and that's exactly how you would be. Head going one way, body going another.
Hey, that's funny. So many people, when they see like things jump out in front of them, they try to avoid them. I'm like, Nah, I'm not avoiding anything because that's a sure way to cause an accident, hurt me or someone else. I'd rather hurt the animal than hurt myself or another human being. So I'm like, "Boop, get the car fixed."
Yeah, it's always something. Insurance will cover it. That's why we pay for insurance.
Yeah.
So by the way, sorry for being off last week and not telling anybody. That's my bad, but we had fun. Do you have family in the Carolinas that got affected at all by this hurricane? Because this hurricane has done a hell of a lot of damage. And thinking about the people, especially in Asheville, North Carolina right now, who are kind of cut off from the world. But
I know. I was just looking at that today on the Today Show. And for me, I got a family still in South Carolina and Mount Pleasant, which is right outside of Charleston. My dad passed away, so I don't have anybody in Columbia anymore. But yeah, the family's still there. They're fine. They got power. They're good.
Okay, good.
Nobody's in a bad situation. So they've been through so many hurricanes over there in Mount Pleasant that they're used to it. They know how to hunker down and get ready for it. So.
Okay. Yeah, but I saw the Carolinas, and you came to mind. I was like, oh, damn, he's got family out there. I hope everybody's all right. So. If you got family trapped in that, man, we're thinking about you. Thoughts and prayers. Holy cow. I drove through, coming back from Orlando, we drove through North Florida and South Georgia. And it is there's just flat. I mean, there's just portions of North Florida that are just flat.
Yeah.
And it's scary, man, because it reminds me of Hurricane Andrew back in the day in South Florida. You could drive through parts of like Homestead, south of Miami, that were the same thing. It was just like, oh, there used to be a forest here. Now it's just flat. Scary shit, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
that reminds me of that tornado that hit Tuscaloosa and it flattened everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then it reminds me of the Katrina when it flattened Houston. It's like these natural disasters, man, they can wipe out a whole city in a matter of seconds. So, and I always feel for people who get caught up in that stuff.
Yeah. And then it's the flooding afterwards too. That's what the Carolinas are dealing with, because they didn't get so much the brunt of the wind damage. They got all the rain. They just got crushed with rain and all that flooding.
Yeah, you know what else is the problem is after that, we have a mosquito problem out here with diseases from mosquitoes, and that's one of the things you also have to worry about after the hurricanes and the rains and the insects.
Yeah, standing water, man.
There's been some flooding here in Atlanta too.
Yeah. Not nearly as bad but we definitely had our share. All right, so here's who is Nicole? Is it Gangliani from SB Nation? You did an interview with somebody, I guess, last week or this week.
Did I?
Yeah, you must have. You cheating on us with another woman? Damn. It's popped up in my news feed. It said Robert Horry believes he should be in the Hall of Fame, and it's the same conversation we've had, but there's nothing new to it. But I was like,
I don't even remember this conversation.
Shot right up on my news feed today, this week, and I was like, dude, who was he talking to? So it was just.
It might have been something I did when I was in the Philippines.
It might have been for the NBA event, but
yeah.
So it just popped up in my news feed, but it did bring a point up. Pete Rose passed away this week, and I didn't realize this because we talk about Pete Rose having a lifetime ban from baseball. So everybody went, oh well, if he's passed on, then that's going to be lifted, and that's actually not the case. He's indefinitely banned. Right. So it's like even if he passes on. Posthumously, though, I feel like put him in the Hall. I mean, the dude did so much for Major League Baseball when he played. Just put the guy in the freaking Hall of Fame.
I think it would have to be because he's been outed by not only Rob Manfred but Bud Selig, who came before. I think it would almost have to take if Manfred at some point in time doesn't say, hey, and he doesn't have a change of heart and say, we'll lift that and we'll put him in the Hall, it'll have to take a different commissioner to do that. And it just depends on how long Rob Manfred is the commissioner of the MLB, because if he is, there's a chance that he won't change his mind and they won't lift that. So I think the only way he gets in is if you get a new commissioner.
So is it the commissioner keeps you out of the Hall of Fame, or is it the Hall? Are they connected? Because like in the NBA has nothing to do with the Hall of Fame.
I think there's a committee. If I'm not mistaken, anybody out there that really, really knows, feel free to correct us.
There is. So, but the rule for his banning was passed by the MLB commissioner back in the day. So that was a decree of the commissioner's office for Major League Baseball.
Right.
So I think it would take the commissioner's office to overwrite that.
Gotcha.
Yet every commissioner thus far since that has not touched it. But Selig never touched it. Rob Manfred's not going to touch it. They just don't want to go back and do like this revisionist history.
Here's my
thing.
problem with that, though. And I understand that there is that written rule in baseball where you don't bet on baseball. I've heard, Tim Kirkshin say it. You've heard so many baseball aficionados say you do not bet on the game of baseball. And I get it. But as times change, and in this world of when you have NIL and so many other sports, Reggie Bush has got his Heisman back. So many things are changing to where the old guard does not mean as much now in 2024 as it did in 1974. You know what I'm saying? As things change, things have to be reevaluated and looked at and say, you know what? Yeah, what he did was wrong. But at the same time, it didn't really affect him on the field, per se.
He didn't bet on his games either, did he?
I think he did.
He did?
I think he did. I might be wrong on that, but I think that was part of the sticking point with him is that he was betting on his own games.
Yeah.
Now, I might be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that he did.
I do like I said, I understand what he did is frowned upon. Cool. But when we look at his career, all-time leader in hits, I think he's a 17 or 18-time All-Star. He won 3 World Series.
Titles,
he was Rookie of the Year. He won an MVP.
I mean, the hits alone. How hard it is to get 3,000 hits in the game of Major League Baseball.
That's
Dude
crazy.
had 4,200 hits in his career.
The man is look, I don't look at that as bad as I look at the whole steroid thing. And even with the whole steroid thing, in a sense, hey, in a sense, it was better for baseball.
It was.
It was, though. I watched a lot more baseball when McGuire and Sosa were
with McGuire, Sosa, when 70 home runs, 60 home runs, wasn't nobody complaining because you know what? The whole idea of chicks it ain't just chicks that dig the long ball. Dudes dig the long ball too. The game of baseball digs the long ball, which is why people love, which is why a lot of people love the what? A lot of people what? They love the home run derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they want to see the ball go 500 feet out of the stadium. That's like a 70-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Or a Steph Curry hitting a 3 from the logo. Like, people like these
Derrick
things.
Henry running 83 yards for a
That
touchdown.
too.
Well, there's
Man,
that.
look, boy. Hey, somebody said when the train coming, you better stay off the tracks.
Ain't kidding, man. Good to see Derrick Henry back in it, man.
Yes.
But yeah, I get it, but I always this is just the thing that adds on to baseball where it's kind of like, dog. Some people already look at the sport as boring, and you already having to come out of the deep, dark depths when it comes to boredom and attracting younger crowds.
Yeah.
Bro, come on now.
Hey, but I will say this. I have never been so confused as I was a couple of days ago when it was like Mets versus Atlanta. If the Mets sweep, if Atlanta sweep, if the tie up. I was like, what the hell? Now, who's going to make the playoffs? I was so fucking confused. I started calling you guys like, okay, explain this to me.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those teams would have to sweep the other for Arizona to get in. Arizona was just sitting at home watching.
What makes me more upset is the Braves literally had an opportunity. If you're taking into consideration that they won the second game, okay, cool. They had an opportunity not only get in, but keep the Mets out.
Yeah, didn't do it. Yeah.
That was a great game one, but they let that game get away. Our pitching was bad.
Yeah,
Once they took out our starter, it went downhill from there.
Oof. How you feeling, Rob?
I'm feeling pretty good. Why?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
He a Dodgers guy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm actually an Astros fan.
You motherfucker, you're a Mets fan, an Astros fan, and a Dodgers fan.
I grew up a Mets fan, but you got to realize once I got to Houston and I got to know all those guys from Biggio to Bagwell, I became an Astros fan because I knew those guys in the city. Yeah, and then when I became an Orioles fan, and like now, if I have to pick a team, it's like who are you rooting for? I root for. I love the city I'm living in, LA. I like for them, but if I had to pick a team between the Astros and the Dodgers, I kind of want to lean towards the Astros, and I kind of want to lean towards the Dodgers.
So if they meet in the World Series,
I'm going for the Dodgers because I'm rooting for Jack. I have loyalty to Jack Flaherty.
and the city you living in.
Yeah, so I'm going with the Dodgers.
Not so much the city he lives in, just the guys he knows.
Yeah, just the guys I know. But but just like I root for the Texans now, even though they're not the Oilers, which they should be, I root for the Texans.
I will say one thing. Obviously, y'all know I'm a Ram fan, but I live here in Atlanta and I want to see the Falcons do well. So if it ain't the Rams, I'm Falcons.
Yeah.
And plus, it's good for business here. If you ask me one team that I like that's built well and I want to see do well, I like C.J. Stroud. I like
C.J. Stroud too.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the way their team is built. I like what's my head coach over there? DeMeco Ryans. I love the way he's put everything together and how he's leading them guys.
I got a root for DeMeco. That's Roll Tide.
Alabama,
right
Roll
there.
Tide.
Yeah.
So I like the way the Texans are built. So if there's a team that I want to see do well and I ain't got no problem, it's Houston. Because I like CJ, dog. I really do.
He's fun to watch, man. Yeah, it's fun to see those young guys come in and have the success that they have like that, man. 'Cause he's been fun to watch.
They doing the damn thing over there in Houston. That's just the Texans. I don't give a damn about the Astros.
I
don't give a damn about the Astros.
Two shits about the Astros. I did, not to bring the room down, but
yes,
we lost to Dikembe.
We did
this week, man, at 58 to brain cancer. Made me really, really sad. I did not know he was dealing with anything.
It's very surprising.
I did not know.
A lot of us knew. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm like, he's like you, Rob, an NBA ambassador. Global NBA ambassador. One of the most iconic big men of all time. I mean, he's done so much for the game of basketball around the world. Like, forget what he's done in the NBA, just around the world, what he's done to put his skills and what he's created in basketball to use in Africa and to build community with it and work the way he's worked around the globe. And arguably, I mean, one of the most iconic guys ever with the finger wag. Come on, has the best Geico commercial of all time.
Exactly.
Still.
Yeah.
No. Where he's just, how much is do you like saving money with Geico as much as Dikembe Mutombo likes blocking shots?
Yep.
Just him going. I mean, to this day, anybody you watch something away from somebody, you just go no.
Yeah.
But, when you talk about humanitarians, man, it's nobody bigger than this in sports. You can talk about, outside of maybe, John Cena, but a lot of people don't know how much work he did for the NBA as an ambassador. When you talk about the elite ambassador of the NBA, this guy was that, from doing the stuff with, Basketball Beyond Borders, doing stuff in every country. You remember this dude was doing some humanitarian work and he was in the airport and the airport got bombed. I mean, the train station got bombed.
That's right.
And he made it out safe, and then to get, taken out by brain cancer, when you say sometimes you lose great people, this is one of the great peoples in sports. I think he did better off the court with what he did for his notoriety, his fame, and his, everything. This guy, you can't say enough about Dikembe. The thing about Dikembe, you will hear him before you see him because that voice, like his size, was just tremendous.
Yeah, it carried. How well did you know him, Dikembe?
I know him very well from doing this, traveling the country.
Right, because you guys did the ambassador thing a lot.
Yeah, we did. We spent so much. Really nice guy. He was like and a funny dude too. So you that's a great one we lost, man. Yeah. He will be missed a lot by a lot of people.
And for us too in the city of Atlanta. I mean, still revered in this city. And wasn't here a long time. But for the time that he was here, man, I think the city of Atlanta he was one of those guys that the city just latched onto him, man. And you can't help but not love the guy. Just an icon. We lost him. So had to bring that up. By the way, blocked 3,289 shots during his long career. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. I think
that's what's that, most all time, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And Naismith Hall of Famer. So just lost to Dikembe. Man, it was a little sad there, but well, we did have NBA Media Days this week too, and I always do love all the stuff that comes out of NBA Media Days. What was Media Day? Was Media Day when you did it anything like what it is now? Because it seems to have evolved so much.
You know how everything in sports evolved. You used to take pictures. You think about when I first started Media Day in Houston, it lasts for 30 minutes. You come in, you take pictures, you do a couple hits, and then you're out. And one thing I would never do, and I like when people say, can you say, oh, hey, I listen to HOR radio and da-da-da-da. I'm like, I don't do those because I don't listen to your radio station. So that was the one thing I would not do unless it was someone I knew.
Sure.
Like Xavier the freaking Rican in San Antonio, I would do it for guys like that, but I wouldn't do it for anybody because I don't listen to radio stations. I'm lying to the people. Like,
I won't lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna start Media Days with Draymond. This little back and forth. All right, I just want to play it, and I want to talk about it real quick
already.
because, well, I'm going to play it and then we'll talk about it because there's something in here that just sort of throws me with the way that he went at this guy. So, reporter just kind of asked him, like, where are you? Are you going to be around this year? Are you, there's people that are concerned about you, and here you go.
People worry about you. Fans, maybe your teammates.
Why they worry about me?
Well,
I am a successful black man in America doing incredibly well. What's to worry about?
They worry
me?
about you.
There are way more people in this world to worry about than me, that's for sure.
But we're here now. So
we're all here. I don't think you should worry about me.
Okay.
I'm doing pretty well. If you would have told me when I was 13 years old in Saginaw, Michigan, without a pot to piss in, that you'd be sitting here and somebody would say they're worried about you.
Well, they're worried from themselves too. They want to know.
They don't feed.
They know the team needs you.
So why are they worried?
Because they know the team needs you.
But they don't feed
and
them.
they don't know if
their
you're going to be
families
here.
Doing this. I'm here. I've been here for 13 years now.
If you're going to be here every night.
Been here pretty much every night for 13 years. I'm always here. Suspensions, the guideline of getting suspended is something that's in place because it's a possibility. It's all about how you spin it. I love how you try and spin it, but it ain't my spin to it, player.
Hey, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Go ahead.
What's up, player?
What's up, player? I'm always here. What are you talking about? Shit.
I'm always here.
I don't care if you can block off every exit or every, you know how they always say water finds its way out? Draymond Green is water.
He gonna find a way out.
And you know what? I salute him for it because that takes a very intelligent person because he knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
Worry I guess semantics, but we know what he's talking about, and Draymond knows what he's talking about, but it is media day. He is a successful black man in America. He's made quite a bit of money. He's been there for 13 years. He's just been suspended a lot, but he's been there for 13 years. He's water. And he's gotten out of every question. As far as I'm concerned, so many questions throughout the years, he's water, he's found that crack and gotten out. And he did it there. Draymond Green, I salute you, my friend.
I love Draymond. Draymond, just be Draymond. Get that team back to where it's be.
So
being on the court, helping your team out.
I get your approach of, salute him for wiggling his way out of that question.
It was just strategic.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
After everything we've been through with Draymond Green, at some point, you really just want him to go, hey, acknowledge there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
My goal right now is to stay on the court, help my team. Now, I'm not looking for you to answer for every suspension or every time you missed 13 games because you couldn't get your shit together or you choked some guy while you're throwing him to the floor. I don't want to get into the specifics. Just, can you at least acknowledge the fact, like, you know what? I've probably missed more time than I wanted to, but my goal this year is to get us back to where we want to go. I think that's really all anybody is looking for from him, and he refuses to do it. He refuses. Outright, it's like a game. He's just like, nope, I'm not going to say it. I know what you want me to say. I'm not going to say it.
He doesn't want to be held accountable. You remember on Media Day where you said that you wasn't going to get suspended or do anything outrageous.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
I'm always here.
He's still here. He's always here.
I'm here, but I might be in the back. I can't come on the court.
I'm always here. I'm on the side street clothes, but I'm here. You know?
Man. Draymond said, I'm leaving out of here the way that I came in here. Just saying. He said, I'm going to be consistent throughout. Look, I do agree with you. But knowing that you're not, and you're 13, which could possibly be Draymond's last year, or he may have a couple of years left. We know what we're going to get from Draymond. I'm tired of wanting more from Draymond than we're actually going to get, especially in the latter part of his career. I'm not surprised. And my thing, I only salute him Because there are people who can be consistently good and consistently bad. But I salute the consistency because there are some people who are very fickle. They one way one day and they something else the next.
No, Rob's got something.
And whether it's good and whether it's bad, I can at least salute somebody who is consistent. Like, you're consistently bad, but I can salute the fact that you're consistent. Because at least you're consistent one way. Now, I want you to be consistently good, but I commend the fact that you're consistent in something.
Yeah.
And that's Draymond. Draymond is consistent in being Draymond, and I salute him for whatever it's worth for that.
A salute to consistency. All right. I know. I guess, I don't know. Rob, am I nuts to think that I just want that out of him, though?
No,
just for him to say, okay.
Nope.
Well, you're not. A lot of people, not just you, their fans would like to say you're going to be tamed this year, but that's not Draymond. That's not who he is. He's living on the edge, and we just got to wait and see what happens.
Draymond tame? Let me ask you this question. When the last time you seen a lion eat a celery?
When it was in something else's mouth.
When have you seen a rabbit take down a gazelle? Things are the way that they are.
I know. It doesn't mean that I can't hope for more, though.
You are right. But at the end of his career, they say, you know how when people get older, they become less, their mouths become, they begin to tame their mouths a little less and their tongue a little less. You know why? Because I'm going to say what I want. Old people say whatever they want. You know why? They'll cuss you out left and right. You know why? Because they old and they've been through our life and they're on the latter part of their life and they going to tell you what they think. Old people and children going to tell you what they think all the time. And so I'm comparing.
Somebody else will when we get off the air.
Oh. So Draymond is old in basketball terms. Draymond, he been doing this. He not changing.
No, I know. Mm-hmm. I know. Just still, though. Just be like, oh yeah, no, I've been out a little bit. Yeah, my hope is to not. Yeah, my hope is to not be out as much this
Guess
year.
what? Draymond will acknowledge it one day when he's sitting at the Turner desk with Charles, Shaq, Kenny, and
no, they ain't gonna be sitting at the Turner desk.
I was going to say.
Well, no,
they might be sitting at the Turner desk. They ain't gonna be doing an NBA show. I'll tell you that.
Well,
they might.
One of them days he might be up there. He'll acknowledge it then. But as long as he's wearing an NBA jersey, he ain't finna acknowledge that. No, that's true. That's too much of a satisfaction.
I do want to give a little credit to the reporter at Milwaukee Bucks Media Day, who asked Dame about Gorilla shooting her shot at him.
Oh, Gorilla! Oh, yeah.
My follow-up question: Glorilla shot her shot at you a moment ago. You giving that any kind of action? It's 7 p.m. Friday.
It's 95 degrees.
Nah, I ain't. I keep my my personal life personal.
Oh, he's dancing.
I let it be that. I respect her as an artist. We know each other. She's an artist. I'm an artist. But as far as anything else, it ain't nothing going on. That's what I can tell you.
I respect.
I'm always here.
He said Draymond's there.
I'm actually, that's a different question. See, when media days are the days you can ask all these questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I'm surprised somebody brought that back up.
I can't believe you should have seen the girl sitting next to Dame from the Bucks has this look on her face like, oh, shit. Should I pull the plug on this?
Nope,
Am I allowed to let this
ride.
go on? Should I? She's like watching him. And he's just kind of squirming as he's answering this question. And she's got that look of like, when do I pull the cord? When do I rip him out of this?
Nope. And I'm glad he gave an answer of some sort.
It's always, I love Media Day in the sense that you can be silly on Media Day and you can ask anything you want because you don't really have to answer it.
No, show Jimmy Butler, man.
It's just so much fun, man. It's back. The season is about to start.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen guys in a long time, maybe, but now these guys, they really work out together. Not like when we used to just disperse and go everywhere. So I love Media Day. You get to see if anybody's gained weight, lost weight, have their hair different or whatever. Or like me, when I stepped in the Media Day, I had braces, and Kobe was like, "You got braces?" I said, "Yeah, man. My wisdom teeth were fucking with my mouth. It was giving me headaches, so I had to get braces." He was like, "Oh shit, okay." You a little over that shit, ain't you? Though I'm like, dude, headaches.
One,
You're a little old for that.
I guess footage I haven't seen. I guess many people down in Miami media day hadn't asked Bam about Asia or made any Asia references.
Didn't see any
now
of
I did
that,
say
no.
see something on social media. You know, their social media team been kind of playing jokes with that whole thing too as of late. But I haven't seen any footage of any reporters asking him about it or referencing their some form of relationship. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised about that.
Is it?
I guess everybody was focused on Jimmy and seeing what his hair was going to look like. Which
I think a lot of times too, you got to think about that. There's other things in Miami to do, and then worry about people's personal life. They ain't shit to do in Milwaukee.
No, but I do think even though that's the case, you're talking about
Shit to do in
you're talking about an all-star in the NBA, possibly dating the best player in the WNBA. And then the whole
I get it.
social media game going back and forth.
I get it. But I mean, he's right though. There's shit to do in Milwaukee, man.
They need some spice.
We gotta spice this up here. Props to the one black guy in Milwaukee for asking that question too.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it was. Yeah,
It was one guy.
Shout out to that man.
Shout out to that man.
Yeah.
Respect. One of my funnier moments in media days, I thought, was watching the New York Knicks players have to squirm and dance when they're not allowed to talk about Karl Anthony-Towns because I guess the deal ain't done yet. So media department said, no, you got to put the brakes on that. The Knicks just kind of had to do a little...
Did you say hi to Karl when you got here?
Excuse me?
Did you say hi to Karl when you got here?
Who's Karl? Don't know who that is.
Brunson.
Don't know who that is.
Who's Karl?
I'm seeing the reports.
What report?
Reports that Karl Anthony-Towns.
You got cat? Oh, wow. It's crazy.
That's Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson in media days. So we got Cat. That's crazy. Yeah, wow. Holy cow. Yeah.
Rob, tell me what you think about this trade because I got my thoughts. But go ahead. Or the trade that hasn't happened.
The trade that's pending. By the way, Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo and a first-round pick to the Timberwolves and Karl Anthony-Towns to New York.
Yes.
To me, New York is looking at Julius Randle, how well we did without Julius Randle. So we don't need Julius Randle. We fucked up and lost Hartenstein, so we need another big. So this works out really great for New York because Cat, as much as people think Cat is soft, he's going to have about 50 to 60 games where he's fucking good. You know, and that's all you need sometimes to get back to being one of the best teams in the East. And on the Minnesota side, I understand why they did it. It reminds me of what Shaq and Kobe was. Okay, we got all this fucking money we got to spend on guys, and we got new ownership coming in. Blah, 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 blah. Get rid of Cat. But shit, you should have got rid of Gobert. You should keep Cat because, Cat, I know it, but Cat is one of those guys that's a unicorn. A lot of people talk about him because, he gets choked out, he got fight, he talks in different voice tones. So they talk about Cat, but the motherfucker can play, man. Let's be honest, he can play. And so I just think that Minnesota fucked up. Bottom line, Minnesota fucked up by getting rid of Cat.
But one of the real reasons why they had to trade Cat. Because in another summer or two, they got to pay Naz Reid. And something
I think this is his last year, this year. Yeah.
So Nas is going to...
Something's got to give.
He's going to... And the way he played last year, what was that? If he would have knocked down that shot, they would have went to, a game 7? Or they would have won that series? Something like that.
I think it was game 7.
Yeah, the way that he played when he was during that series, he played way better than Karl Anthony-Towns. Because there were moments where I'm like, dog, he played better than Cat and Rudy Gobert at both of their positions.
Yeah, he played better. He was the second best player on the floor.
Exactly. So what they're thinking is, okay, we can't get rid of Gobert. We didn't gave up heaven and earth to go get him. And we certainly ain't going to get any form of that back
and
for him.
You owe him too much money.
Way too much. So fine, you could really put Nas at the 4 if you're gonna have Gobert in there, have a big lineup, or if you're gonna sit Gobert.
You got Julius now, You got Julius at the 4.
True. You can put Julius, or you can have a small lineup, put Julius at the 4 and Nas at the 5.
Yeah, but his thing with Julius though, Julius reminds me of Carmelo Anthony.
In
he
what way?
needs the ball a lot. In that sense, not in the sense of scoring, doing that. I'm just saying in the sense that they need the ball a lot
to make an impact.
And Julius is not nowhere as good as Carmelo was. I'm not, what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to disrespect, but I'm just saying in the sense that when guys need the ball a lot, and you play with other guys who need the ball a lot, you're not successful.
Right.
And you need to be. You think about it. But Brunson, the people around Brunson on that team, the reason they were successful, it was AI when he went to the finals. Everybody just, okay, you can give it to me. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to knock down a shot when you give it to me. And that's not who Julius Randle is. Think about when he was with Brunson. That motherfucker looked so out of sorts. He was like, I don't know what to do. Because he's not a great defender. And when he does, and then when he doesn't get shots, he goes out of control where he might either turn that bitch over, run somebody over, or take a bad shot. So if he's able to change his mentality and say, okay, I'm going to take the shots that are given and not get upset or frustrated, he might work well for Minnesota, but I just don't see that happening, though.
Here's the thing. And you're right, for how much he demands the ball, I've always said Julius, he's really a 3 that really masqueraded himself as a 2. And for a guy that I would rather him much more play like Zach Randolph did. Now, he's more athletic than Zach, but my problem with Julius Randle is he takes too many jump shots. I don't know who he think he is. You know, who we think we are in our mind and who we are in real life be two different people. And what I saw when he was healthy, I'm like, wait a minute. Why is he chunking up jump shots? I'm not saying he can't knock down a few, but bro, that's not your game. I would much rather see you play like Zach Randolph, a more athletic Zach Randolph, and play some bully ball. Yeah. I don't need you. See, in Minnesota, I don't need him chunking up shots. I need him sometimes with his back to the basket and playing bully ball.
But he can't do that because Gobert's going to be in the way.
Well, depending on who's on the floor. Now, depending on how they, because sometimes you might have Naz Reid, like you said, at the 5, and might have Randall at the 4 to it. So now you have a smaller lineup, so now I have more room.
Yeah.
But this whole Karl Anthony-Towns in New York, I'm going to tell you this right now. We know that Thibodeau is a defensive guy, right? Okay, we'll see how that works. Because I'm going to tell you this right here. We want Karl Anthony-Towns. I want him to play more of his back to the basket. But that's another guy that big man that loves the perimeter. He loves the perimeter. And Tibbs is going to have to force him to say, hey, bro, ain't no Rudy Gobert back here. You are Rudy Gobert.
Get your ass down there and set a pick.
Hey, bro,
do something, man.
We need defense, and we need you to play somewhat with your back to the basket, and we don't need you to bang. I'm not needing you at the three-point line this whole time for you to just take threes every time we come down the floor. I got enough guys to shoot threes. I need a guy down low that I can depend on that's going to be aggressive. And it's you now. They depending on you, even though that's not really him.
Good luck with that one.
And there's your lineup right now for New York. It's going to be Brunson, Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG, and Cat. It looks like it's probably going to be your starting 5.
But I'm thinking about once Robinson gets back, you got to take Hart out that starting lineup and let Hart be that utility guy that can replace
that off the bench
four of those guys on the floor. Yeah.
And even despite all of that, all the trades and all the moves, Paul Pierce this week says, Knicks aren't going to win a championship in my lifetime, man. It's never going to happen.
Who is the first title out of New York, the Knicks or the Liberty?
Well, I don't believe the Knicks have won a championship in my lifetime, so got to be the Liberty.
The Knicks going to win a championship, bro.
I don't think in my lifetime. I'm just saying they will, but I won't be around to see it.
And Paul Pierce said, no way. Ain't happening. Rob, do the Knicks win a championship in your lifetime?
Well, I hope so, because I want to live a long damn time. So that means it's going to be a long damn time.
Yeah, Paul Pierce is living a little reckless, so, in his lifetime, who knows, but yeah.
But the Liberty will win. Liberty going to win a championship this year. Let's be honest.
They could. They could.
The way Stewie came out and said, y'all want to laugh and joke about me last year? I'm about to kick y'all ass. So Stewie is going to work. But now, I just don't see you got to think about it. It's not because of what the Knicks have. It's what the other teams have. Think of Boston's a better team. Philly's a better team. And then that's just what's in their conference. And if you go to the West Coast, you got OKC, who's the youngest team out there that's going to kick ass for the next 10 years if they stay healthy. So I just don't see New York winning a championship in the next 10 to 15 years. So,
God bless.
The Knicks ain't winning that. Now the Knicks will be competitive, and I think that's
but that's the carpet that always gets pulled out from under them, right?
Well,
it's always hey, look, we're a 4 seed. We're coming in as a 4 seed. We got a shot, and then it's a second round exit.
Well, for everything that New York is, when it comes to sports, it does not take much for them to get excited about something, because when you ain't never had it or you ain't had it in a long time, if somebody give you a little something, it's like the world, which is it's the irony of living in New York City, where you can't really impress New Yorkers with much because you're in New York City. But you dangle a little bit in front of the Knicks. Hey, we're a 3 seed. Hey, we're a 4 seed. You would have thought they would have won the NBA title.
Yeah.
So
that's all it takes.
They going to depend on the Liberty and then the Yankees to win championships. That's the only championships that's going to be hitting that city anytime soon. Because they ain't going to be the Jets. It ain't going to be Buffalo.
Well, not after the way the Jets played last week.
And if a doggone sure ain't going to be the Giants.
And if hell no,
we
the
to bring them
Giants,
up.
forget it, man. Forget it. But apparently Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh are at each other now in New York with the Jets. You knew that was only a matter of time. That was going to happen before Aaron starts going, I'm not really thrilled about the way this is going.
Well, I mean, hey, I don't really know what to say about
I don't
the
either.
Jets.
But while we're on football, I did want to play one other piece of audio here. Do I have it? Let me see if I can get it real quick. I thought I had it. I don't have it. Where is it? Son of a bitch. I'll get it real quick. It was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Did you hear, Rob, about Tom Brady?
And Baker Mayfield?
I heard a little bit of it, and then I got called away.
All right. So the basics here is that I'm getting it. Hang on here.
The basics of the parameters were around.
So it was something about what Baker Mayfield said about
bringing the fun.
Bring the fun.
Yeah.
And they kind of sum it up on the broadcast before Brady responds. So here you go.
Said, quote, they wanted me to come in, be myself, bring the joy back to football for guys who weren't having as much fun. It's funny because you've made this environment for me very stressful up here in the booth, so I understand where he's coming from.
Do you feel it?
No.
A little stress? No. Well, I was going to say, I thought stressful was not having Super Bowl rings. So there was a mindset of a champion that I took to work every day. This wasn't daycare. If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
I love that from Tom Brady. If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids. He was notoriously a hard ass. He was notoriously a hard ass. Yeah. And yet he is arguably one of, if not the most accomplished player in the history of the NFL.
And he's the second greatest quarterback of all time.
Who's second greatest quarterback of all time?
Tom Brady.
2.
Pat Mahomes.
Oh.
Sorry.
You're launching Patrick Mahomes in front of Tom
we
Brady?
had this conversation before. Don't.
I am putting Patrick. And the reason why, look.
We already had this conversation.
That's fine. And I'm still rolling. Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. If I put up the first 8 years, what he did, Tom's first 8 years, to what Pat did his first 8 years, Pat wins.
Okay, there's a longevity issue here, though.
Yeah, and then we go, then we doing this podcast 10 years from now. Like,
okay,
what did Pat Mahomes do in his last 8 years versus Tom Brady his last 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but I think with this though, he has, it's so many. I think it's the mindset of athletes now. A lot of athletes they're so content on getting that bag. It's more than just getting that bag. It's about starting a tradition or continuing a tradition. Being that guy that's called a champion. Not many guys can be called champions. I got paid a lot of money playing, but did you win? Yeah, you set your family up for life, but did you win?
Yeah.
And to me, if you don't win, you are what? Failure. I know people hate when you say that. If you don't win at something, you fail. If you don't get to a point in your life, you fail to get to that point. You are a failure. So guys who don't win championships, and it's nothing wrong with failing because you tried to get there, but you didn't accomplish your goal. And if you don't accomplish your goal, you fail. So bringing fun back to a situation, who gives a shit about fun? This is a business. If you own the business, all of a sudden you walk up in there, everybody giggling and laughing, and productivity is down, you gonna say, fuck this shit. I'm firing everybody and bringing a new crew in here so we can have some straight attitudes and we can get the business and the work at hand done. So I agree with Tom Brady at all times. It ain't about fucking having fun. You have fun when you go home and hang out with your family or in the locker room after a win or after
or
a
when
Super
you
Bowl.
take your
That's when
kids
you
to
have fun.
Disneyland, like he said. That's when you
spend a lot of damn money.
And yeah, that ain't fun. Actually, he's wrong. That ain't fun at all. He's out of his mind.
He took a.
You know who popped in my brain when I was reading the story and I heard this? The first person that popped in my mind, Kobe Bryant. This has the air of the look. You can smile and laugh all you want when on your own damn time, but when you're out here, this is how we play. This is how we practice. This is how we win. This is how this works. And you're gonna put in the work because I'm putting in the work, and we're gonna put in the work together so we can win together. And if this is about joking and fun, and Shaq wants to make a rap album, then we're gonna have problems.
Right. Yeah.
The first thing came to my mind.
He was right. I mean, I do agree. That was a small, well, not even small. That was a dig at Tom. And some people were like, well, he didn't mean it, and that's not what he was.
Oh, the spin now is, my words were taken out of context. Bullshit.
No, that was a
They were
dig.
very plain.
Yeah.
He just got called on.
Yeah, he got called out.
Yeah, the guy Mike Evans was like, well, shit, I won a championship. That was fun to me.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know what was fun? Tom Brady falling off a boat because he drank 9 tequilas in a championship parade. That was fun. That was fun because you were hoisting a Super Bowl trophy. Yeah. That was fun.
Baker's is crazy because his career has had to be rejuvenated.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for the little small stint that he had with the Rams and what Sean McVay did with him, he may not be in Tampa playing as the starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's played well, but bro, you ain't done nothing.
You ain't won anything. And I'm like, I don't dislike Baker Mayfield either. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's a good player. But
he's killing it right now.
He's having a little bit of a run. Look, more power to him, dude. Go get something. But don't parade around like you're the king of fun. Like you got the fun crown because you ain't won shit.
We'll see how much fun he have on Thursday night when he come into the Beans.
Yeah, well.
We sent the Falcons sent the Saints marching up out of here. We're gonna sink that Buck ship too.
Okay, let's see what happens. All right, a couple quick things. We're gonna do big shot, and then we got our game. Oh boy, Alabama, Georgia.
One of the greatest games we have ever seen.
Was it really? Because I was like, after it was 28-0.
Oh yeah, at that point it was. Oh yeah, Georgia
I was comically watching it at that point, and then Georgia kind of put something together, and you're like, oh look, Georgia's gonna make a game out of this, and then that damn catch and run that kid had, that freshman
Ryan Williams.
Holy
Let me just say this: I'm watching this game. All I could think about was Thurman Thomas. I can think about Warren Moon. I said, oh shit, here come the Houston Oilers. Meaning Alabama.
Gonna blow this monster lead.
About to blow this fucking lead because they took the foot off the fucking gas. And I'm like, do you realize your fucking defense is on the field constantly and they just wearing down? I'm like, how are you run the fucking ball? Keep throwing the ball on your tight end. You killing these motherfuckers on the edge. Keep running. All of a sudden, you're like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Well,
but,
Georgia,
he's supposed to be a quarterback, couch, coach from the couch. But yeah,
Georgia.
They had that boy from Georgia confused. He looked like he ain't never played quarterback in his life.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, he ain't. Yeah, that was different. Carson,
he was thrown to nobody.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
They disguised a lot of coverages, and it's something that obviously being in that kind of hostile environment and going up against the best team that you've gone up against all season, since last season, and them disguising coverages and things like that. Oh, it had him shooketh.
Oh yeah, no, he was. Hey. ESPN put out the shot of him walking into the stadium before the game, and it said Carson Beck arrives dressed all in black for the matchup with Alabama, and I retweeted it and just said apparently for his own funeral.
Yeah. But let's give some credit to Kirby Smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see his interview at halftime? He says, oh, shit, they hit us with some things we ain't never seen before. That motherfucker went in the locker room, made those adjustments, and said, okay, I'm about to hit you with some things that you ain't never seen before.
You know what sparked that, though?
What's that?
If you saw when they ran off the field, Alabama got a taunting call penalty.
Oh, yeah.
And
it wasn't 20. It was roughing because when it was in he pushed the guy. It shouldn't even been called.
Yeah, but when you have a team down like that, you don't need to give them extra. They're already motivated to come out and look like a different team in the second half. You've given Georgia, who is a team that is relentless and fights, ain't never been in this type of situation before, and they're a wounded dog. You, and I love dogs.
Can't use.
I can't. My bad. Look, but hey, let a sleeping dog lie. If you got them down, don't give them more motivation to get up, and that's exactly what you did. Because Alabama, a lot of this team, you weren't here last year. A lot of these guys are new, so you ain't done nothing either. So you got this team down at home like you're supposed to on your field. Keep that same energy coming out in the second half, but they let up.
Yeah, but did y'all? It's like I'm gonna send y'all something, and y'all got to look at it. When I saw this, my son sent it to me, and I just laughed my ass off. I'm not gonna put it out there on this podcast because.
Oh no! What are you? Now I'm excited.
It's I'm just say this. The I don't know if it's true or not, but X, Twitter, whatever they call it, Hollywood Williams, which is the receiver, number 7, the 17-year-old who ran the touchdown.
Yeah, Ryan Williams. Yep.
Look at what he changed his image to on his X.
It hasn't come through yet. So, yeah, when it pops up, we'll jump on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something, man. That was something. Yeah. I don't know what to make of that. Oh, here it comes. What is it? What's that? What was it? Where'd you change it there?
Oh, wow.
Okay. It took me a while to figure it out. I had to blow it up and I'm like,
wow.
And I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, no. All right, well, for the sake of the audience, I'll eat the bullet here.
Yeah.
He changed himself his to a picture of Michael Vick holding a dog.
I said, dude, you cannot do stuff like that. You might face Georgia again. And this is what these young bucks don't understand.
Dude.
Bulletin board material.
But you know what, though? And I thought the same thing of Georgia, too. Because after Georgia came back and took the lead, they started to taunt the hell out of the Alabama fans. Like, they were running up and down those sidelines, pointing at people, laughing and shouting. And I'm just like, after the first half you played, this is not the way to respond when you get the lead. You got to keep a calm head. And then they got cooked, like 2-3 plays later, got cooked.
Hey, and I was like, oh, shit, we scored too fast. And then all of a sudden, Georgia was coming back down the field.
Yep. And then the pick.
And like, okay, thank you, freshman. You learned.
Yeah.
You learned on the job, and you position yourself to get the eye.
But shout out to Kalen DeBoer. First, big win, big SEC win for him as the head coach of the Tide.
Yeah, beat the number 2 team in the country. Got yourself a number 1 spot in the AP this week.
Now you got a trap game coming up this week at Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
and they say reportedly Kalen DeBoer has laid rat traps around the facility to let the guys know that this is a trap game. Don't fall for the trap.
Yeah.
So,
don't let Vanderbilt come out and score like they did the first couple weeks of the season, man. Vandy hung like 55 on somebody like week 1. It was like, all right.
But Georgia be all right. Georgia be just fine.
But they're down. They dropped down to 5.
You know the funny thing about Georgia, they're going to win in the whole thing because that just pissed them off right there.
Hold on, they got 3 other big games coming up. They still got to go to Austin.
Texas. Yep.
They still got. I know Ole Miss lost to Kentucky, but they got to go to Ole Miss and Tennessee.
Ole Miss is not that good to me, man. Every year they give Lane all this credit for his quarterback. He's not that good to me.
I understand, but you still got to go into Oxford. And teams get up when you have a team like that going into your building, stuff be different.
Is Tennessee in Georgia? Is it in Athens or is that in Knoxville?
I think that's in Knoxville.
Oh my, that's gonna be something. We'll see what Tennessee's made of. See what Tennessee's made of. All right, big shot of the week, by the way. Quickly, is going to go to the Georgia fan who inflated a rescue boat and floated out to save a stranded buddy who was stuck in his flooded neighborhood because they had tickets to the Georgia-Alabama game. So big shot of the week, young man. He inflated a boat to go save his friend because he's like, we're not missing this game. Hindsight, he probably should have left his buddy in the house because, as we just discussed, Alabama.
No, that game's in Athens.
Got business.
It is in Athens.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
There you go. All right, well, that should be a good one. We'll see. All right, well, game this week, and we'll wrap up this show. And thank you for everybody for joining us, getting us back in the habit here. This game's Bet on Yourself is game week this week, and I'm going to remind you guys how Bet on Yourself works. I have categories. You just bet 1, 2, or 3 points based on how confident you are. If you get it right, you're going to get them points. If you get it wrong, you're going to lose them points. I think Harper still owes me 5 points from the last time we played this game. So.
I owe a lot of people. Take a number.
Get in line.
Get in line.
Get in line. All right, so I'm going to give you the categories. I'll let Rob pick the first category. You're each going to get a question out of these categories. All right, Rob, your 5 categories are animals, Disney, divas, anatomy, or food. Anything stand out? Food. All right, food. Robert Ory.
Yes. That's what we do when we retire.
All right, Rob, how many points do you want to bet on food? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
All right, going big out the gate. 3 points. And they're all true or false questions, by the way. True or false? Ketchup was once used to cure diseases like diarrhea and colds.
You give some folks diarrhea still.
Well, it was used to cure it, so it didn't say to give it.
Oh my God! I'm gonna just say true, just for the hell of it.
All right, let's put 3 points on the board for Robert Ory. That is true. Yeah, absolutely true. All right, Harper. 1, 2, or 3 points on food.
Heck, let's go 3.
All right, 3 points.
I'm going big today.
True or false? Honey will usually never go bad.
Honey will usually never go bad. True.
Get that man on the board. That is true. Honey usually
I
never goes bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was like, no, everything spoils eventually, right? No.
Honey's coveted.
Honey, yeah.
That's why they won't leave them bees alone.
I'll tell you what. All right, so you guys are tied at 3. Harper, you get to pick the next category. Animals, Disney, divas, or anatomy?
Let's go animals.
Animals. Harper, how many points you want to bet on animals?
Let's start off with 2.
I'm doing 2 here. True or false, an octopus has 2 hearts.
An octopus has 2 hearts. With all the shape shifting and stuff they be doing, I wouldn't be surprised. But
octopus be shape shifting?
I mean, they be changing colors and stuff. I'm going to say false.
Okay. He's gonna say false. True. Rob is saying true.
This probably is true.
Actually, it is false. An octopus has 3 hearts.
Oh, so I know they had more than one. I knew they had more than one.
One main systematic heart pumps blood around the body, and the 2 additional are responsible for pumping blood over each of the gills.
Have you seen an octopus change colors and adapt to their environment?
Man.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. I mean, they just like lean up against a rock and they're gone.
Yeah.
You're like, Arr. All right, Rob. Harp's got a 2-point lead.
Yep.
How many points do you want to bet on animals?
I'll go 2.
You go 2 as well. True or false, Robert Ory? Fish cannot blink. Fish cannot blink.
All fish or just some fish?
Fish. Cannot blink.
Fish cannot blink. True.
And get that man back up on the tie there. That is true. Fish cannot blink. That is
but true. I thought it's one fish that can blink. I can't remember what
What's
it is.
that?
But
it can't be if it says if that's true.
I know, but I'm thinking it's a fish. It might
not be classified as a fish.
It might be a mammal.
Yeah.
Just because they swim, that don't mean it's a fish.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're tied up here, 5 each. Robert Ory, next category: Disney, divas, or anatomy.
What I have to deal with every day, divas.
Robert Ory, what errands did you have to run today? All right, Rob. How many points do you want to bet on divas?
I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna go with
2 points. All right, 2 points here. True or false? Rihanna was born in the Bahamas.
False.
There you go. Very good. Rihanna was born in Barbados. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. 2 points. All right, Harper. You gonna try and match 2? You gonna try and up him with 3?
Let's go to 3 for divas.
Oh, here we go. 3.
Yeah, look at a diva who's gonna answer a diva question.
I'll tell you what. All right, Harper. True or false? Madonna's real name is Madonna.
I feel like I should know this.
Do you even know who Madonna is?
Yeah, I know Madonna is. I know who Madonna is. I've just always known her as Madonna. I just never knew if that was. Madonna is her real name. I'm gonna say, what I do, 3?
Yeah.
True. False.
No, her name is Madonna Louise Chacon. That is
I thought it was
absolutely
something
true.
else.
Madonna Louise Chacon is her full name. Yep.
I thought it was something else.
No, that's
I got that one wrong. I damn sure thought it was something
All right,
else.
Harp has a 1-point lead. Harper, it is your turn to pick the category: Disney or anatomy.
I'll go 2 for Disney.
Disney for 2 points for Harper. True or false? Minnie Mouse's full name is Minerva Mouse.
Minerva Mouse.
Did you just research this?
Minnie
While you were there?
Mouse's full name is Minerva Mouse.
False.
True.
It is true. Her full name is Minerva Mouse.
I just learned that a couple of days ago when I was on the airplane and they was doing this special on the Disney showing all the characters.
I would have never
You learned that a couple of days ago. What the hell are the odds of that? That you just learned that Minnie Mouse's name is Minerva Mouse.
Yeah, it was this really cool thing they had. It was the movie where Wishes. It was Wishes. Before Wishes came on, they did this thing with all the Disney characters, and they was talking about her.
Okay.
How do you?
All right, Rob. Well, you're up by 1 point right now because you lost 2
I'm gonna
there.
do 2.
So
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
do 2.
2. All right. True or false? It took Walt Disney 3 years to produce the 1959 Disney classic Sleeping Beauty.
3 years? That'd be false.
I'll give you a couple more points. It took Walt Disney 8 years to
It
make
took
that
a long
freaking
time.
movie, if you can
Yeah.
believe that. 8 years to make Sleeping Beauty. All right, Rob is up 3 as we go into our final category. So, Rob, how many do you want to bet on anatomy? 'Cause you get the first
1.
question, you're going 1. He's taking a knee. Holy shit, he's taking a knee.
No,
All right.
because I'm up 3. He is no 4-point play.
Right. Take a knee. True or false? Your teeth are the only part of your body that can't heal themselves.
True.
And that's going to be a big fat W for Robert Ory. Yeah, it's true. Your teeth are the only part of your body that cannot heal themselves, and that's going to be a 10-6 win. Very good. Harper, your question, by the way, was going to be true or false, your radius bone is one of the biggest bones in your leg.
Radius bone.
Your radius bone is one of the biggest bones in your leg.
My friend just broke his radius. Oof. You know how hard it is to break your radius?
Very.
I would say that's true.
No, it's false.
It's the fibula, ain't it?
Yeah, well, it's the femur. Femur and your tibia are your leg. Your radius bone's in your arm. It's in your forearm, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so how about that?
That's almost close. No, I broke my elbow.
No. It's almost close to something that I broke, but no, it was something else entirely.